Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Femmy Effendy, and I am a student of doctoral program in management at School of Postgraduate Study, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. In this occasion, and due to COVID-19, I would like to deliver my online presentation on the 5th Global Conference on Business, Management and Entrepreneurship. My paper that I am going to present is with title Perceived Usefulness, Perceived Easy of Use and Social Influence to Intention to Use a Wallet. As we know, theoretical models that are widely used in some digital technology adoption research today, including the Technology Acceptance Model or TAM, and also the Unified Theory of Acceptance and Use of Technology or TAUT. This kind of two theory are also considered to provide a good theoretical basis in understanding intention consumer to use non-cash payment transaction, which include e-wallet such as OVO, GoPay, Tcase, or others. This study combines perceived usefulness variable, perceived easy of use variable, and also social influence variable, and intention to use an e-wallet. The survey was conducted on the student of STMIK Rosma Karawang with Information Systems Study Program, class of 2016 until 2020, with a population of 160 people. Samples were taken with a purposive sampling approach, and 137 respondents were received. The analysis technique used is multiple linear regression using SPSS version 23, where the result of the study show that there is a positive and significant effect for perceived usefulness and perceived easy of use effect on use intention. But variable social influence does not have a significant effect. The process of the research, first we doing for the introduction, looking for the theory background and also for the literature background and the phenomena background of the research, and we also using for the literature review, research model. So after that we make hypothesis of the research and using the research method and the result and discussion. As we know, behavior intention is still one of the topics that are widely studied in terms of various disciplines, and also digital payment in the form of electronic wallet or e-wallets are increasingly interesting to study nowadays. Growth in digital payment transaction based on the Bank Indonesia 2020 data recorded an increase of 94.7% from 2014. And also cashless society, which is a designation that refers to the people who do not use physical money in transaction. So the purpose of this study is to examine the effect of perceived usefulness, perceived easy of use, and social influence and intention and actual use electronic wallet with the combined research model using background theoretical technology acceptance model or TAM and the unified theory of acceptance of use of technology, or we call it UTEUT. Literature review for this research based on the two kind of theoretical model. First of technology acceptance model, which first by Davis, using the perceived usefulness, perceived easy of use, attitude toward use, behavioral intention to use, and actual use. And the second theory using for the type, which we looking for the social influence variable only for the background theory. Research model for this background, I'm looking for the four variable: perceived usefulness, perceived easy of use, and social influence and intention to use. With the hypothesis of the study are perceived usefulness has a positive and significant effect on intention to use a wallet application. And the second one is perceived easy of use has a positive and significant effect on intention to use a wallet application. Third is social influence has a positive and significant effect on intention to use a wallet application. For research method, population and sample, this research was conducted in period of less than 6 months. So this study used a cross-sectional method. Population sample of the student of Information System Study Program with 137 respondents we collected on March 2020. Sampling method used non-probability sampling with purposive sampling. The research instrument in the form of questionnaire used a semantic difference scale. The tool used to analyze data is the IBM S23. Analysis method validity test, reliability test, the classical assumption test with the normality test, or Kolmogorov-Smirnov non-parametric statistical test, multi-collinearity test, heteroscedasticity test, and test the partial relationship with the t-test. Validity test result. Validity test to test significant or insignificant by comparing the value of R arithmetic with R table. For degree of freedom, n minus key alpha 0.05, then value R table similar with 0.167x. So in table 1, so that all are arithmetic value bigger than 0.167x. For the reliability test result, decision making for the reliability test as follow: convert alpha less than 0.60, which we call it poor reliability. Convert alpha 0.6 until 0.729, this is acceptable reliability. Convert alpha 0.946, that's mean good reliability. Convert alpha as PSS output result more than 0.886, then all data are considered to have good reliability figure. For the classic assumption test, we using for normality test result from the SPSS output assume value significant to tail 0.115 more than 0.05. Then the data is declared normal distributed. Multi-collinearity heteroscedasticity test result, the tolerance of each independent variable all are bigger than 0.1. While the FEI value of its independent variable is x1 is 2.810 and x2 2.505 and x3 1.219, which means all are smaller than 10. Then the data is free from multicollinearity. Whereas for the heteroscedasticity, it can be seen that the significant value of the independent variable is x1 0.743 and x2 0.644 and z3 0.146 bigger than 0.05. Then the data is declared not to occur heteroscedasticity. Hypothesis test results statisticals using t-test. Test the hypothesis by comparing the value of count with table of significance level of 5% or 1.978. The path coefficient has significant effect in test statistic value, bigger of the 1.978 value. The result of the result data we can looking at the table for the perceived usefulness, perceived easy of use, and social influence. For perceived easy of use, the significant 0.02, for perceived easy of use 0.00, and for social influence 0.17x. So for the social influence have no significant effect. Determinant coefficient is denoted by R square. This value determines the variation in the value of the dependent variable that can be accepted or result from a linear relationship with the dependent variable or other than that accepted is explained by other variable. The coefficient of determinant or R square range from 0 to 1. So from the model summary, for x squared 0.508. Conclusion for this result, this study concludes that there is a significant variable effect of perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, on intention to use an e-wallet. In contrast, the social influence variable has no significant effect. Suggestions from the result of this study imply expected to make the application more convenient and more comfortable to use and consistent in service. In contrast, the use of public figure to increase user intention is unnecessary because millennials in this study are not affected by the figure they idols. It's been a pleasure being with all of you today. Thank you. Thank you all for your patience. It's been an honor to be among such accomplished individuals and to be able to present my perspective presentation. Thank you very much.